Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers joining us here today. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, I'm very excited to have colleague and friend sitting down with me here today. Anna Lagrange is going to be joining us very soon at our Gold Live Learning Day here at Gold Learning. You can find all the details online at goldlearning.com. And Anna's going to be talking about a mindful approach to low milk supply. That's right, you heard it right. A mindful approach to low milk supply. So I hope in that title, you're starting to think about how and why is this possible? All the questions, you're going to bring them on the day. We're going to talk about it in just a few minutes here. But first of all, Anna, welcome. It's so good to have you here today.
Thanks, Fiona. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah. And honestly, Anna, I think that, we've been chatting the last little while here online and just getting really excited about this content. I know I just looking at all your content and you sharing your experience of why and how you're doing this. And now all the research has just got me rethinking and reevaluating all about this topic. But let's dive in and let's talk about you for a few minutes and learn a little bit about, first of all, where are you in the world? Where do you reside?
So I'm in the UK, in the southeast corner, a place called Kent. So yeah, that's where I am with my husband and my three kids. We've lived here for 15 years now, so yeah,
Oh,
we love
that's
it down here.
lovely.
And it's
That's
sunny
lovely.
today, which is always nice in the UK.
Yay. And you have a few roles in your life. You're an IBCLC and a pediatric nurse, right?
Mhm.
And then now you're also an author, which is amazing. A teacher and an author of mindfulness. So tell me a little bit about, because you have a book, and I know we wanted to talk about the book today. But tell me, how did this get to that point where you actually got it into press and you wrote about it? Tell me about that.
I think when I started using mindfulness and relaxation tools with my clients as an IBCLC, it just blew me away. Actually, when I first started creating some of the tools, I was really intending to use them for antenatal education,
Okay.
but I started incorporating them with some of my breastfeeding clients, and they were just the power of them was just unbelievable. I was like, this is something else. I just couldn't believe it. And I realized I had to share it with other professionals, but also with parents. And that's where the book came in. I wanted something
Mm,
that was just really accessible. It's a very small, short book to read, but it's also interactive because, mindfulness is about going within, thinking about how
mhm,
you're feeling, focusing on you, focusing on your baby, prioritizing you as a dyad, this new relationship.
mhm.
And I knew that, by writing a book about these things, it was the easiest way to share this magical stuff that I'd kind of come across really with as many people as possible. So yeah.
Okay, so now, and again, forgive me, we've been talking about this for a while, but you're throwing some pretty exciting things out there. So tell me, you started to see things change with your clients when you were using mindfulness. Now, there's going to be, I'm sure, because I know when I first started thinking about mindfulness, it wasn't my thing. I have to say, like, I like to be in control of everything, right, Anna? Um, and, uh, and so thinking about sitting and taking time, and it wasn't I didn't want to do a service to my clients, but I think that not understanding it myself personally, I needed to understand it first myself and then be able to take it to my clients. But tell me, what is it that you were seeing that was so phenomenal?
I think it was that actually when we understand the mind body connection, we don't even need to understand it, but when we look after the mind body connection,
Hmm.
and the impact it's almost universal. I mean, from working with people who just sort of, that need that reassurance at the beginning, they're just perhaps not trusting in themselves, their body, perhaps not completely trusting in their baby or their ability to do this. It helps with that because by calming down their nervous system and relaxing a little bit, it helps them to feel less stressed. And then when we're less stressed and we're connecting, then things magically happen. But then also going to the other end of the spectrum as lactation consultants, we obviously work with people in some really you know very tough situations where perhaps on a practical level there isn't a whole lot we can do to change their situation. But what I was finding by using these tools is that even in those circumstances, they were feeling better about themselves. They were
Mm,
feeling like more accepting of
right.
what they were going through and actually being kinder to themselves in a really tough situation, because we tend to be quite tough on ourselves, don't we, when things are difficult. So
Yeah.
really from that whole spectrum of the kind of issues that we deal with as lactation consultants, I was seeing really incredible results. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And tell me about the research. Is it limited? Is there anything there? What's going on?
Yeah, it is limited, but we're getting there. We're getting there. There's a lot of interest. There's more studies coming out slowly. I mean, actually, when you look into the research, some of it dates back right to the 80s, where
Oh,
they were
wow.
doing research in the neonatal units,
Mm,
taking mums who are pumping and measuring how much those who listen to relaxation music were pumping compared to
mm-hmm.
those who weren't. And why this isn't common knowledge, I don't know, but there was over 60% more milk yield for those people who were,
Wow.
just listening to music. So I'm not sure why we haven't incorporated more of what we know from some of those earlier pieces of research into our practice. But I know certainly for myself, I'm a nurse and I tend to be a bit of a let's go in and fix this problem. So
Right.
the mindfulness has taught me to step back and perhaps sometimes prioritize other things, as long as babies are being fed, of course, and we're trying to remove milk from the breast. But let's think about that relationship and that connection. And actually, when we do that, sometimes other stuff kind of falls into place. So yeah.
Right, right, for sure. And I think the interesting thing about, this particular topic is that we're talking about low milk supply. And this, I think, triggers everybody in the lactation field because, at some point we're all dealing with this, as practitioners. It's going to come across our path, and the perception of our parents that we work with is it's the number one complaint. So, if we can find a way to support that in any matter of a way, then of course it's going to be helpful. But tell me, does this like I don't want to be a skeptic, Anna, but come on, does this really work? Is this like what is it that we're seeing? What changes in the body? I want to know what's the impact on the system and the hormones.
Yeah. So, two things that you touched on there. One is the system, which is our nervous system. We spend so much time in our modern lives we might call it our fight, flight, freeze, but in kind of chronic stress. And wow, having a new baby is stressful anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
then when you've perhaps got the challenges of low supply, that's a really stressful situation to be in for any parent. So, first of all, we know that by using relaxation tools that we can bring ourselves into out of the fight, flight, and freeze and into a more relaxed state. And then that has a beautiful knock-on effect on our hormones. And we all know that oxytocin is a key hormone for
Right.
breastfeeding. So the whole thing works really well. But what's nice about I call it a side effect, but actually I think this might be the most important bit, is that when
Mm,
we're in our relaxed nervous system, we're able to connect with other human beings. And when it comes to our babies, that means that we're able to bond more with them and connect more with them.
mm,
So actually, yes, there is this physical body stuff going on, but at the same
right.
time, our social relationships are improved, and that's just what we want, isn't it, when we've got a new baby. So
Yeah, I honestly, and I can picture now having these conversations with my clients, and the parts, some of the parts that are missing when we walk into, a client's home, or if we're in clinic or wherever it is in hospital, is that we spend our time, not just talking about the latch, and all the other elements that are actually going to improve the outcomes, as you mentioned. And I think this is all part of that mindfulness that you're talking about, right? Like we're doing some of this in practice already, but I think you're going to help us take it to a whole new level, right? We're going to be doing some more of that in our session with you.
Yep, we are. We're going to be going over that. And I really want people to consider taking things beyond the listening skills that we use so well. We
Mm.
tend to be very good at that, holding that space and listening to what's going on for our clients. But I would love to share some kind of more practical things with people so that they can actually take it that step further and see the benefits that I've seen in my practice for their clients as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, this has been mind opening, I have to say, and it has reignited a lot of, the things that I have come to learn about being mindful, but also just making sure that, I can actually gift this to clients as well, So I'm really excited. Thank you for the inspiration today. I really appreciate it. I know that coming back, though, to your live session is going to be great. I know we're going to do some interactive components with you as well. And so that's going to be fabulous. Thank you so much, Anna. It's been great having you here today.
Thanks, Fiona. I can't wait to see you all in August.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yes. And so do check out goldlearning.com. You can check in there and see that Anna Grange is going to be speaking with us on our Gold Learning Day, a mindful approach to low milk supply. Thank you once again to Anna Grange for being with us here today. And of course, to all of you, our viewers. Bye bye for now, everyone.